Oh, yeah, yes. I think also when you pitch a project, I think pitches are also changing in the sense that years ago, if someone would pitch, probably still today, the majority of pitches, they will, focus on the content, on the substance of a certain story. I think a pitch is far more stronger and more convincing if you can combine both, if you can bring objectivity along with the subjectivity. For example, we have a lot of independent producers or writers that actually upload their projects onto the platform for analysis. They write and they ask us, oh, can I use this for my pitch? So a lot of those users of our platform, they actually take certain graphs, they take objectivity and they put them in their pitches because they believe that if you're pitching to an objective party, such as a financier, you'll have a better chance instead of just telling them, oh, I think this project, will be great because I have a gut feeling, because I feel it in my bones. No, it's a far better pitch if you can combine numbers along with sentiment.
But I think that's the key point. I think the filmmakers should assume that whoever they're talking to, they have that data. Don't fool yourself. Like they are, on the industry facing side, they are equipping themselves with that data. So from the creative side of things, of course, you still want to do, what is your creative instinct is telling you. But if you want to be able to breach that, to get into the industry, you have to know what you're talking about. So whether it's like an information gatherer that you need through the AI or not, I think you need to make your pitch stronger by knowing that on the other side of things, they know exactly what they need and what the audience is demanding, etc., etc. So I think it's a necessary step for filmmakers and for the exec to embracing this technology and analyzing as much data as they can. It's not going to change the creative process. We're not going to lose originality. We're not going to lose creativity by doing that. Right. You just channel it better. You just get to know your audience better. And there's an audience for anything. So this should not be seen as a stoppage to creativity, but you're talking the same language. You're talking about something that you're knowledgeable about. And if you decide you want to do something about a small niche in a specific territory, specific genre, that's fine. But at least you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And I think also getting more people to adopt technology like this, not just companies, but also mainstream people. It's one of the most important steps is talking about this technology and have them use it and test it. It's definitely part of the adoption process. And I think also because there's a lot of fear going on as well in the industry. I hear sometimes fear of losing their jobs to AI and all of that. I think one needs to dive deeper and dig deeper into why is there fear surrounding this AI. It's not that AI is taking over jobs or anything like that. It will allow you to do your job far better. You compare it to a surgeon, to a radiologist. There's so much software out there, AI that actually interprets scans far better than a radiologist. And a radiologist went to med school for 12 years. That's far more than an English literature major, and still they're not thinking about losing their jobs. No, they're actually welcoming AI because it makes them better radiologists. This is how we should approach it. It's not about taking over a job. Nobody's taking anything away. It really is you as a professional becoming a better version of yourself. It's like you do workshops and all of that. You become a better version of yourself. You're better in assessing. You learn more about technology because it is part of our lives. AI technology, it's embedded in everyday life. So of course, also in the film.
Absolutely, and I think this is used correctly that broadens the field for and allows more creative projects to come about, because one of the places that we applied our technology to was a project that was, untouched by all this, but we were able to kind of look at some of the tail data, the audience data, the tail libraries out there, and really determine that there is something. There's, it was a story of animatronic story. It was very unusual. None of the studios would pick it up, but we attached data to that, and then it got picked up by Netflix because, again, it was using their models. They found out that there's a niche target audience just for that. So what these type of technologies really do at the end of the day, whether it's in the creative side or the data side, is it helps you find that niche taste, right? The niche audience. And right now there's a growing, like, everybody wants, their niche taste to be fulfilled rather than seeing the same repeated patterns. So I think some of the the questions that people might have, or whether this is going to, technology like this is going to make things very mainstream or repeated, that's not really true. In fact, what it does is it allows it opens it up for people with very interesting niche tastes, and also creators who can satisfy those niche tastes. So going, just now something broader, more fun, where do you see the field of AI evolving in the next 5 years? And, if you can name a couple of ideal developments, whether it's new algorithms or data or the way the industry works, that would make a big impact for AI in filmmaking.
For example, what I touched on in the beginning of our discussion, I think within the next 5 years we will definitely see more AI-generated content. That's one thing. We are going towards that route for sure, because I'm just going to give you an example. The company Wattpad, for example, they made writing novels, an everyday job for everybody. All of a sudden, it's not, you don't have to be an author or, an educator, writer, that went to school and studied to become a writer, for example. No, all of a sudden, anybody, like a 13-year-old girl can actually write her own romantic novel and gets a lot of feedback from the community. That's what happened for that niche of writing. When it comes to content, more specific art field, I think AI will probably do the same thing. First of all, I think we will see also a change in taste, because let's face it. I mean, you have with TikTok and all of those platforms, they're all taking audiences away from the traditional filmmaking. Let's just go and watch, the demographic of TikTok. They rather spend an evening watching, dance films, movies on TikTok than watching a heavy drama, that's so deep and draining. No, not everybody wants content with substance. Some just want content with no substance, and there's also demographic for that. So I think with AI-generated content, because I said earlier as well that we're consuming content at such an accelerated pace, you can't afford spending 2 years in development hell. I can't believe that, in 2020, you still have companies that spend 5, 6, 7 years in development for a project. They need to deliver content, because if you spend on projects 2, 3, 4 years developing them, and we keep chewing on content, we keep consuming this content at such a pace, you need to get technology involved that will actually make this content creation more efficient, that actually content creators can deliver much faster. So I think we're headed towards that direction in the next decade, in the next 5 to 10 years. And AI-generated content will also be more accepted in the sense that, today, maybe for the traditional moviegoers and traditional entertainment people, they still think, oh, it's something, you know, that won't have an audience. I actually am quite sure that AI generated content will have a huge audience, and they will find that audience more into the, you know, the millennials and the -18 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, from sort of the industry perspective, I think the best that in the near term that I hope is that the discussion around AI is not a hostile one like it has been in the past quite a time, because often it's about the lack of understanding of what it really means. And it's not a robot that makes films and does this by itself. It's literally, most of what it is at this time is just a supporting mechanism for humans to understand what the opportunities are, how to get there. It's like, that's why my Waze analogy, because it's literally that. It's just supporting you to get to your destination. And however it will develop in the future, it develops the human part, and I think is, in my opinion, for now, will be the key to it all. The person will make the decision, the AI can help, or the data combined with that. It's not just AI. AI alone is also nothing. You need to feed the AI with something. It's not just, AI is not just some wonder. It's basically a technology to number crunch something in a very good way that wasn't possible 10 years ago. But you need to feed it with the right thing. So I think that people have to understand that every other industry and every other company uses AI to make better decisions and be successful, and it will help people a lot in the future. It will help find content and produce content that finds their audience in a better way, and increase the profitability. Right now, only 4% of independently produced film breaks even. 4%. It's not a high number. So if we get that to 20% over the next 3 years, or 25%, that would be a great goal. And I think technologies with AI can help with that a lot.
I agree. I think like just a broader use of technology in now in the industry is what, you know, the next 5 to 10 years are going to look like. You know, from whether it's about generating content, as Nadira said, or, you know, as Tobias referred to, you know, profitability and distribution. A lot of programmers and cinema saying are already using AI, but it's, you know, it should not be the exception. It should be the norm. You know, the technology is embraced anywhere you are in the value chain, and you familiarize with that, and you make a useful tool, because ultimately it's going to make our life easier and hopefully our industry more transparent and more efficient. It really hurts when you know that, you know, there's so many films, as Tobias said, don't make a profit, because it's not just about losing money, but it means that they're not being seen, that there's not an audience, you know, they haven't reached the audience. And that's key, you know, to make things that, you know, people want and can access, and that's why that's how the technology can really help.
Absolutely. And you know, what do you think now? Well, turns out we've reached the end of our 1 hour. That's seemed to run by, and we've taken as many questions. You know, I've tried to put that in there. I think we can continue our conversation after this in you know, the breakout rooms. So
thank you.
Thank you all for being part of this, and thank you to the wonderful audience.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.